What's up, everybody? Let's see if this went through or not. Let's check this out. If it did, we are in business. We're going to make a little last-ditch effort. Don't really care about finishing Showdown because I really don't care about the rewards. They're not that good. I want to see if I can play any football. If anybody was on this morning, you already know this, but if you weren't, I can tell you that we got one good game in. It was actually 3 good football goals. I won 3-0. And if you were on the one before that, you saw I made it 14 minutes before just shutting it down. That was on Friday. And essentially, the gameplay was terrible. Well, sorry, the opponent, right? A lot of it is about the dance partner in these games, and that's literally the number one reason why I left FC. Because the community inherently, largely due to how EA Sports, the direction they took FIFA over the years, is just nonsense, right? So, no matter what kind of game you have a community that's going to find a way to kind of ruin it. And that's why I try to stay away from FC. But that doesn't mean I'm just going to sit there and lie about eFootball or UFL and not point out glaring issues, because that's the only way things get fixed, right? No matter how positive or negative they are. It's the same thing with anything, right? You can get sugar-coated nonsense, or you could get the truth. And so that's what I'm going to put out, no matter no matter how positive or negative it is. So with UFL right now, you can either have a fun game, even with imperfections, or you can have just an awful game, and it's largely due to who you play. Now, this name looks familiar. I can't tell you if it's a good opponent or not. When I say a good opponent, I just mean someone who's going to play football. Could care less about winning or losing. It's just about playing good football. Not someone who's just going to sit up top with CR7, which he doesn't even have CR7, but sit up top with CR7, try to cut back and forth and get a finesse shot the whole game. Or someone that's going to constantly just shoot to try to get a corner to do a corner flick the whole game. Or, So let's see how this goes. We had a good one earlier, and then literally nobody was on. This is like 4 a.m. though, so maybe that's understandable. It is a little alarming because UFL continues to be the only game where you can get 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes of waiting before you get a game. Just 10 minutes, exit out, come back in. 10 minutes, exit out, But we got one pretty quick here, so let's just see how it goes. We'll take it game by game. Go from there. No warm-up games, no nothing. So maybe some rust having to get off. Goal. Of course not.
Knocks it back. That was very well done. Federico Valverde. They'll have to chase to regain the ball now. Where's he going to play it?
Get out of town.
That didn't look good at all.
Get out of town.
Looking at his options.
Good D. Good D, Mendy. Good ball.
Opportunity here. And he's left without the ball. Pick a pass, any pass. Ronaldo. The ball swept over towards the left flank. Taking the ball with him. He seems remarkably reluctant.
Guys, It's got the delay thing again. So remember earlier when I was saying there's no delay? Watch this. Watch how my players look like they're tripping over the ball before they pass it. Looks like the ball's kind of stuck under their feet before they pass it.
They are so impressive going forward. So many options available.
Goal. Terrible defense. I should have just walked it in. That was silly of me.
Here's another opportunity to
Should have known better.
Now the visitors will have to defend the corner. Takes the corner. The ball now on the left of the midfield. Eduardo Camavinga. The defense can't switch.
Thank you. Literally, when I say walk it in, I almost had to walk it in. Yep, Billy, that's what I was just saying. What's up, United fan?
1-0 and the visitors
No,
will be happy.
it was, I would never call it actually smooth, the gameplay, but I get what you're saying. And no, it's got that. I was just describing it as, it looks like my players are tripping over the ball before they pass it. It's most definitely lag.
Can they make something of this?
And it's most definitely annoying. The one thing I would say, yo, shit.
Mbappe.
One thing UFL has had that's helped them out
Donnarumma.
is pretty consistent servers, at least for me.
Can't keep the ball from going out.
But, yeah, man. This is where I'm at with eFootball, too. Now, eFootball is you can play football there. I won't get too far into that, but my biggest thing that I explained is, I watch FC make mistake after mistake and essentially take their community down the worst path, and now you just have this terrible community that pretty much will ruin anything. And I don't really want to be a part of that. Like, it was fun for a bit after the patch, and it was cool to see a game that was just so bad for years get significantly better. But
Chase to regain the ball now.
it started quickly going downhill, and it's no surprise because that's just the community in FC. Now, UFL's a new enough game that, I feel like it's still malleable. Like, the community could still change, and I feel like I have a good enough community, a strong enough community, and with how new the game is. Even though I'm not a large channel, the game's not large. But with strikers, just like with EA Sports, like largely they're going to determine the kind of direction of the player base. And the player base is important because that's what determines, like I compare it to a dance partner, right? You're not going to want to dance with a shitty partner. It sucks, right? It's going to suck. Not that I'm a big dancer, but if you have a good dance partner, it makes all the difference in the world. That run by Ronaldo was so dumb.
Kylian Mbappe.
So,
Aurelion Tchouameni.
so depending on how the game goes is how the type of players you attract, right? If you have a shitty dance partner, then the game can be pretty shitty. And unfortunately, with where Strikers is going, it's attracting all the worst, quote-unquote, dance partners. And that's kind of where we're at. So, am I going to give up on this? Am I going to give up on eFootball and just run back to FC? No. Was I doing that when I covered FC? No. It was more just that patch came and it was like, damn, dude, we got a whole new game. And it was super fun. And it was going in a good direction. But again, with that kind of community that's inherently just toxic, they're going to find whatever they can to ruin anything. It doesn't matter what it is. I mean, you have straight addicts over there that just need the next new card. You have guys over there that don't even want to play football. They literally are just addicted to the menus and will do anything to win. Doesn't matter what it is. Then you have the other side of it. You have people that will play harder than they ever have just to tie the game up and leave the game so that you don't get a win. Even though they still get a loss, they just don't want you to win so bad. It's just terrible. And a lot of that's EA Sports' fault, like I said. But what I'm seeing from UFL, one of the biggest disappointing things is that as good as they started, it's like literally becoming almost like a carbon copy of FC, which is one of the reasons why I take long periods of time away from the game. There's other reasons too, right? But that's a big one why. Whereas eFootball, I feel like they easily have the best community, but I'm going to say this is going to piss some people off, but I'm not no bullshitter. I feel like it's definitely the lowest skilled overall. And I'll tell you why I say that. In eFootball, I feel like it's the lowest skilled because of I've been playing for like a little over a month, and I'm constantly able to let's call it out football the opponents. But they know the little eFootball stuff. Now I'm fine with that because then you can play to get better. The problem is, as good as the product that eFootball has, which isn't Strikers. Strikers does not have a good product. We're trying to make it good. It's a game full of exploits. eFootball has a good product, but they put in all this crap to cater to low skill players, which tends to be a lot of the player base. So are they ever going to change that? That's my question. So I'm in a little bit of a pickle right now, if you will. But I guess why I'm telling you guys that is because as mad as I get, I don't plan to leave these games. But I'm also never ever gonna be a bullshit content creator. I have a video coming out soon, which is why I'm talking about this, because as negative as I can come off, and I know a lot of people get this, but some people might not. It's just honesty, because as shitty as it may sound, it's better than lying about it. Like, I'm going to give you my raw emotions, because I know a lot of players are experiencing this, and if you have a whole bunch of bullshit content creators, these guys feel like they don't know what's going on. Like, if I would have just lied to Billy and said, no, the gameplay feels great, because I don't want to say something bad. I want to be, maybe Strikers will end up helping me out or giving me a free trip to try the new game or the new, or whatever. Maybe they'll send me free packs. So no, the game feels great. Oh man, I'm just playing really bad right now, but the game, oh, it feels excellent. This opponent's just really good. You know, I'm lucky to be up 1-0, even though it should be like 5-0 against an opponent like this, and instead it almost was 1-1. So I'm going to call out all the nonsense, because if that spreads, potentially you can get the game fixed. If you look historically speaking in any game, that's when stuff gets fixed, because the development company needs the players. And if enough players join forces and are pissed off and don't accept the nonsense they're given, the community will answer. Why do you think they said they're going to start banning the rats? Everyone got sick of it, banning the time wasters and the cheats and all that. And so it's similar with anything that's wrong with the game. We have to make our voices heard. We have to say how stupid it is. I love the veteran badge, by the way. The veteran badge, I've said this before, but that's sick. So they do great customization, man. Like UFL, anybody would want their customization team. I know EAFC has like the better badges and all that, but 100% UFL's customization is amazing.
Great support. Alexander Isak.
Couldn't switch to the right player, so I just had to defend with who they gave me. Oh, man. Alright, let's see what we got here. So you can always tell when it's bad connection, too, because... Well, no, I'm playing bounce right now, so this is about normal. I shouldn't say that. Let's bring Zoboslai. Alright, we'll keep it like this. Did they make those switches for me? Yes. Okay. Let's see what we got here.
Love to watch him. He's a unique player with some pretty unique F50.
Good. Come on, go. Whoa! I played to my wing back. I played to my wing back. Guys, this fucking game. I can't... Man, I don't know how I'm going to be able to do this, dude. Guys, I just tried to play to my wingback. How often does that happen to you? Can you guys please let me know in the comments? Because I feel like I haven't talked about that too much with people. I tried to play that exact ball to my wingback, that one right there, and I would have been up. And instead, I got some bullshit. It should be the game. Does that happen to you guys? It's just insane. Another 60-40 possession game, and you have the duty set to attacking runs. Oh, no. I was talking about... No, that striker wasn't supposed to. I have it on balance. I was talking about... So what happens is, I try to play to my wing back there, okay? I'm in a 5-2-1-2. Same as a 4-1-2-1-2, except for I use the width with my wing backs moving up to make my opponent spread wide. Okay, so what I did there is I played to my wing back. What it did was pass to whoever the hell it passed to, someone in a total opposite direction. It drives me insane. And that first game after I was done last time, that's how that player won the ball back. And then he passed against my defense, so it almost looked like it happened to him too. Either that or he made a really bad pass. But on his, he got the ball back in a better spot, did a little circle dribble thing that wasn't realistic at all, and hit a bender into the corner with Ronaldo. And it's just like, dude, little stuff like that happens nonstop. So me knowing this ahead of time and still playing is kind of crazy. But that's why I've been playing more and more eFootball. Now, eFootball has their own problems too. They don't have much more going on than UFL. No, they do, though, to be fair. All you really have in UFL is the weekend thing, and eFootball doesn't have that. And then you have the showdown, or the divisions, and then you have the playoff crap, which is AI. eFootball has division just like UFL. They have weekend events. Well, any day you could play the events, and they have them both player and AI. So, similar but different, but the only difference is, for whatever reason, they don't have like a weekend showdown or champs. The dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. But then obviously FC is still king of that because they also have like draft plus squad battles plus friendly cups, which are fun as hell because you can let loose. And they have all these different ways. They'll do goal friendly cups. They have that crazy mode where you get a passing boost, a speed boost, a shooting boost. So like UFL and eFootball both suck in that nature. eFootball, the enjoyment is actual football on the pitch. UFL doesn't really have any enjoyment. I would say the kits and like the fucking stadiums, and I'm being dead serious. What's up, Sammy? So I'm trying to enjoy it. You know, that first one I made that thing. So I don't know. Could I get your guys' take on this? Because I wanted this. I asked this in videos, but I've never been too like pointed about it. But honest truth, because it'll help me as a content creator big time, right? So I already said it earlier. I don't want to just run to FC because inherently I don't like that the player base, which is a community that I'd be drawing players from. And it's saturated. I mean, the whole nine. There's a ton of reasons. And I think there's going to be a game one day that knocks it off. Who knows? It could be the new football game that FIFA ties knots with. Whether it's a 2K style new FIFA game or something else, it could be that. Who knows exactly? Sammy. I know, man. I'm sorry, buddy. The reason why I stopped is it's just inherently a shit community, and like that's what I'm saying. Strikers is bringing UFL to that. EA Sports just created a inherently toxic community, and so even though the patch made the game a lot better, what do you have going on with EA Sports right now? Well, there's no more like taking finesse shots or power shots at certain angles, and you can exploit that. There's no more of those kind of exploits. But what do they exploit? Well, the servers are bad. Well, on top of the servers being bad, what else is bad? Tacklebacks. Okay, tacklebacks. What else? Ping pong passes. Or they call them pinball passes, where an attacker will pass it off the defender, and they go, oh, it's realistic, so it will bounce off the defender and go back. Okay, so what are rats to do? Find a way to exploit terrible servers, so they rush defenders, similar to kind of eFootball's meta with the pressure, And the only difference is because of the delay in FC, you can't get the ball off your feet. So you got guys rushing at you and then literally kicking the ball, knowing they're going to make a bad pass, but pinging the ball forward, hitting it off your defender and just running through. It's the craziest shit in the world. And like I said, the other stuff. Players purposely tying the game up and leaving just so you can't get a win, even if they're going to lose anyway. All the bullshit that happens in FC. So I don't even really want to draw players from that. I'm not saying there aren't good players like Sammy. I know you're a good guy. And there's a ton of good players because it's a large player base, but there's way more toxic, ratty, nonsense players that don't give a shit about a football game. Right? Exactly. Hence why strikers, whether it's, I heard it's kind of bullshit. I heard they're not, oh, this is the guy I played, that I thought was ratty, and I played him in, he's like, I swear I watch the channel, I'm not. He might even be in here. But for all I know, he's stream sniped. Who knows? People will bullshit too, but let's see how this game goes. But I played that game, and this was the game, he made a couple passes, and my defender just missed it. He had some explanation for it, and I was like, okay, dude, so be it. I was wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And he seemed like legit. He seemed, oh, don't quit, dude. And then that shit happens, so it makes me wonder. So, I don't know. So, okay, yeah. So, he played these couple balls, and my defender just missed him. It was kind of crazy. But he's like, dude, I watch your channel. And, man, those were just bad passes or something. But they weren't, like, he said something like that. And I said, I apologize. I was like, dude, it gets you paranoid. And that's what happens, dude. I said that already. I think that's how communities like FC's community came together. I truly feel like over time, shit gets real toxic, and then players start to just hate their opponents no matter what. You go in, and you get used to playing so many just like ratty assholes that now you become like automatically like you're it's starting to happen in eFootball for me. You play events, and I'm looking to play like real football, and you'll have assholes that will come in and play the meta, but eFootball calls it their meta. They don't call it, see, this is the type of player. No offense to him, I'm not saying, but this is what makes you not want to play. Like, not him, but that meta. Turn hit. And I get it, it's the same thing you gotta kind of do. It's not on him, but that's what I was about to ask you guys, and I got sidetracked. What is it that keeps you guys playing this? And what is it that keeps you from eFootball? Because I will tell you, eFootball will drive you crazy too in a way, but they just hide behind tactics. I'll tell you more about that, but forget about eFootball. What is it that makes you play this? The 14 that are on here. I shouldn't have moved him. What is it that makes you play this game? And by the way, that should be 1-0. But not in UFL Worlds. Because I continuously have the most numbers here. Again, even though eFootball is not perfect, the reason why I stick to playing it is because you can play really good football in it. You see what I'm saying? Bear, come here! My dog's going crazy. Well, he's my daughter's dog, but still. Bear!
This season's going along nicely for the away team. They go out there and carve out some good results, and they're moving up the table, deservedly so. He's got to shoot. Goalkeeper clears.
There's 2-0, but again, don't get rewarded for playing good football. It's just so silly, bro. What goalie saves that, guys? I don't know, but this guy, he's a fan of the channel, or he told me. He could have been trolling. I'm not saying you are if you're watching, but he did some buggy shit before, And I thought it was. And he's like, no, dude. And I believe him. I'm not saying I don't, but I'm saying it does make you suspicious. And he could have just easily been trolling because I didn't recognize him from like chats or nothing. And the fact that I'm playing him again, he either stream sniped or we are. But when I played him last time, it was super. Like, you see, this game should be 2-0. No, that's not his fault, though, that the goalies are saving everything in this game. But it's just like he's one of those players that scores. You know, you've seen what he did earlier. He just took a finesse shot. He's not really beating my defense. And that's fine. But that's kind of what this game's creating. And it's not necessarily his fault. And if you're watching this, bro, and that's how you play, then play like that, bro. Don't fuck it. If that's what's fun for you guys, dude, do whatever you guys want. It's not for me, though. Because first and foremost, I want to play, football. So he did that through ball. And then the two ones where my defender like kicked at it and missed. It was crazy. And you can't tell. Should you not be able to play a lot to the through ball? Well, of course not. But that was pretty fucking close to that glitch angle. So how are you going to tell, This dude could easily just be a troll looking for a win. He cares so much that he was like, no, dude, I swear, because he didn't want, me to, put him on a video. Or he really is a bug and I just couldn't tell. Really is a bug, a rat. Who knows? But that's the problem for me. EA FC makes me sick with the game. I know. Well, see, with the gambling thing, if that makes you sick, then you probably would be mad at eFootball because it gets pretty crazy. Now, I do love how good the legends are and how true to the real life versions they are. And it's like one of those things like, well, you buy them and you keep them forever, but why did they have to make it so expensive? And like, it's kind of sickening, dude. I spent the most money on eFootball, and that's where I also don't want to point players there. Necessarily because, dude, I spent hundreds, and I'm talking I'm like 400 in, and I got more than enough players, and it's my own choice. But as a content creator, I just wanted to make sure you guys know that, and I'll show you what I mean by my team. But this game is terrible. Like, let's be honest. Trini George, this is Trini George. I figured you were. So yeah, so that's just kind of the thing. So is it his fault it's not 2-0? Fuck no. But that kind of thing makes you not want to play. Now, he could end up winning this fucking game 1-0 on a finesse shot. Okay? Now, do I have a right to be pissed at him? Fuck no. It's UFL. But there are players who will get their ass beat, and then they know it, but they'll just go for they aren't trying to get better. They're just going to go for a finesse shot over and over. Finesse shot, finesse shot, finesse shot. So it feels weird talking about because I never want an opponent to feel a certain way like when I'm saying this stuff, especially someone who likes the channel. Like, I'm just telling you my thing with this, and that's how what I'm describing is exactly how the toxic community in FC started. Because there's plenty over there that would act like fans and go, hey man, I could really use your help. I just really need, see what I'm saying? So like, he has, no offense, Trini, but he's not a good player. I've been smoking him the whole time. And he could get better, but he's allowed to do this in UFL. So should he not do it? I'm not saying he shouldn't, but I've been crushing him the whole time. I got 2 easy goals. What are the percentage chances of the 2 that I had where I smoked him defensively, right? And that's just the truth. I'm not being mean. You guys go back and look, what would you call that? I sliced him up. He hasn't beat me one time defensively. He can't. And it don't matter. Look, I'm switching to my 4-1-2-1-2. I was playing the 5-2-1-2. He hasn't done shit, but then he's able to hit a 30-yard shot and score. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go play football because at least you can play football there. And my goal there is to try to eventually play football well enough, because I still have a lot of work over there, to where I can beat the shitty meta. But here it's not meta. It's that shitty players are allowed to stay in games because of stuff like that. Like here, it's easier to score a 30-yard shot. Hold on. It's easier to score. Hold on. Change. It's easier to score a 30-yard shot than it is to... Oh, of course. It's easier to score a 30-yard shot than it is to beat defenders and score like on a breakaway. So this is what, my third game? So this will be my last game of the stream. And I'm just explaining why, though. But you guys understand, dude. You guys see this game. But the toxic community comes from... So if I didn't know him, and maybe he still is, it's up to you guys to decide. Maybe he's not. But you'll never know. He could easily just be a player that's not skilled enough to play the other games, so he plays this, and he takes 30-yard shots instead of trying to get better beating defense because he knows he can't beat him. So he's like, oh, well, this game allows me to not be very good and still, compete. So I'm just going to do that all game, which is what he did and scored, right? I'm not just going to sit there and do that with Ronaldo. There's no way my time's going to go to that. Even if it did, what kind of content would it be? It'd be terrible. I want to help you guys play and show you, here's how I slice his defense up each time. You see what I'm saying? I mean, the rewards are shit. No one cares about the rewards. I should have made that run. Oh, I had to play it off him. No one cares about the rewards, so it's like, so which game can I make the best football content out of? And it's definitely eFootball. But you guys... Done that all game, though. Hasn't done what? What's that? No, I'm talking about he went for... Well, he can't beat my defense. He hasn't beat my defense once. So if you look at... He took a finesse shot. So I'm saying that's UFL. But he hasn't been able to do anything against me, right? He hasn't been able to do anything against my defense, see? Boom, boom, boom. And then I get 2 clean breaks on his keeper. I walked one all the way in with a 99 shooter, and it missed. Now, is that his fault? No. Is it his fault there's lag? No. But you never know, though, dude. You're playing all these glitchers. And so, if he wasn't in the stream, would I think that? No. So you got a combination, if that makes sense. You got a game that's not skill-based, and then you got a ton of rats. Where are you going to have fun in that, right? See what I'm saying? He hasn't done one thing. I know I'm talking to you guys. I don't really care because I know I'm done after this. But it's like I don't even care anymore. I already had my chance, my 2 chances. This game would be 2-1 right now. I've stopped him every single time, fair and square. He wins 1-0 on, what do you call it? Not his fault, but if I didn't play him, would I be like, oh, he's a rat? Maybe, would you not? You could have said he failed on that lob through ball that he tried. And would you argue that, I mean, it's going to get frustrating if you get stopped every single time on defense. Not to mention, you know how hard it is to stop someone every single time? Yeah, but that's not the point, Retro J. The point is you can score 30-yard shots easier than you can score breaking teams down. Like I said earlier, I'm not just going to sit there with Ronaldo and shoot 30-yard shots for you guys. There's no way that that would last. You guys might, some of you might go, that would be awesome. Bullshit. If all I did every single game was shoot 30-yard shots with Ronaldo, so if that was FC, if that was eFootball, if that was real football, I win the game 2-1. And do you know how hard it is to stop someone like that all game? Dude, I smoked you 2 different times to get wide open shots. You got 1. That's just a fact. Yeah, but that's not how football... Do you understand? Do you guys get what's going on here? I shot exactly how I would shoot in a real game. Just like Ronaldo or anybody. Nobody pulls up and just does a finesse shot. You see how you're explaining that? And if that's the case... So I'm looking back right now. So let's watch these. So I had that clean break with Ronaldo where I go, I'm going to walk this in. No, that was Chiesa. I got one with Ronaldo, one with Chiesa. Clean breakthroughs. 2 of them. Clean breakthroughs. And then the opponent got 1 30-yard shot and did not beat my defense 1 time. That's not the point. The point is, if you're watching all of UFL, the 30-yard shots from Ronaldo, that's what is going in. Are you not see now this has to be a troll. See what I'm saying? The 30-yard shots from Ronaldo are the only thing. I made a video on it. Go look at the title of it 2 weeks ago. And not to mention, you guys aren't living under rocks. You guys are playing the game. Ronaldo 30-yard shots, literally joke after joke. Oh, that 40 million made sure that he was the only one that didn't get nerfed. Oh, all you have to do in this game now is cut back and forth with Ronaldo and hit it. Everyone knows that's the only way to score. I get it. Well, then you wouldn't know what I'm talking about. You sound kind of silly. The Ronaldo distance shots are the only surefire way to score. Period. So I get it. So I'm looking at it right now. I'm watching it. So Chiesa, I play a perfect through ball, which everyone saw it. Chiesa's in 8 yards out. I walked it all the way in, pushed it into a corner. You didn't move your keeper, which I wanted to check that because I thought for sure you'd be like, I moved my keeper. No keeper movement, and it saves. Then, yeah, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not doing that. That's my point. That's why I don't play. That's why I'm not playing this game. I'm not going to take Ronaldo and cut back and forth and do a 30-yard shot. I'm not going to play that lob through ball. There's that certain angle. So if I go practice that right now, like all the rats do, I could have that down. Now, did you fail on yours when my defense didn't get locked up? I don't know. But that's what this game creates. Either way, it's not a skill-based game. So then the other one, Ronaldo. Ronaldo was the other one. My fake shot, you guessed the total wrong way, Trini. You guessed the total wrong way. You click in the right analog stick. They told you that on there, on the comments. I saw it. Go read that comment. They explained it good under one of the comments when you asked. Two people answered it. Bud Scribers. So the other one, look, I'm watching it now. Look, first half, first shot of the game. I fake turn and I go to my right. You move your defender the total opposite way. Okay? I took a shot. And my comment during it actually was, yeah, go figures. Here we go already. It's like a 99% chance scoring opportunity in a game. Your defender, your Van de Ven, goes the whole wrong way. Okay, so that was that one. Then my perfect through ball to Chiesa. I walked it all the way in past the penalty spot to ensure that it went in. And your goalie saves it. Not your fault, but that's not good. Well, I mean, let's say it was good defense because that was 2. Bro, you didn't beat my defense one time. Not once. So then I lose to a 30-yard shot. So what makes your 30-yard shot go in, but my 8-yard shot and then my 12-yard shot when I totally burn your defenders? Does that make sense? Your Holland shot. Let me see it. Let me go back and look. When was it? All I remember is your 30-yard one. I could be wrong, though. You were clear in on goal with Holland? I don't remember that at all. Exactly. There's no point even arguing it because, okay, so then 2-2. That's fine. Forget it. That's not even the point. I'm getting besides the point. Zaquai, thank you. That's besides the point. The point is it ended up 1-0. Either way, that's the problem with this game. So there's no way I'm just going to keep playing this because, with all due respect, it's no skill. There's no skill in the game. 3-star finesse. So you're either going to be a player that plays it and does 30-yard Ronaldo shots like Trini, or you're going to be a player that tries to play. Here's the problem. If you try to play and do like the through balls that I did to Chiesa, that was awesome. I can make videos on that stuff all day and be like, look how badass this is. And people will love that because that's good football, right? Pass, ping it into Chiesa. Boom. Goalkeeper saves it. If that just happened once in a blue moon, but other times it goes in, you could be like, look at this amazing save. Well, no, the goalies are broken. But those plays are few and far between because you have a rat infestation. You have players that don't care about playing football. They're fine with spending their time doing 30-yard shots with Ronaldo. Here lies the problem. Even if we wanted to say, okay, yeah, those exploits suck, but the game itself could be good, blah, blah, blah. Bro, do you know how many years in a row you could say that about FC and the player base just ruined it? Yeah, you did not. Did you see the stats? I left them up for a reason. Hold on, let's go back. You didn't play. Do you not remember my through ball to? Do you remember your only through ball? You played it to my defender. It looked like you were going for the through ball glitch. You played it right to my defender in the air. You did not. Do you know how hard it is to be as defensively solid as I was and to still lose 1-0 on a 30-yard shot? How many 30-yard shots did I go for, Trini? How many 30-yard shots did I go for? You couldn't help but be a rat pussy. I don't give a fuck if you had it. Look at the end. You couldn't help but be a little rat because you're a loser. That's the bottom line. You're a troll loser. I'm watching it right now and I can see the through ball. You're not fooling anybody. I see right what you did. Go, guys, if you guys want to go through this with me. Go look. Bud and Trini, quit following me, you idiots. Look, no one's making you guys watching me. You fucking... Do you guys see this? You two idiots are on here following me. Go follow someone else. You, both of you, could give a shit less because I'm speaking the truth. You losers are on my shit. Do you realize that? The three of you. I know, I see it. Zakai, I see it. Bud Scribers is not though. He's kind of like I see he's like kind of not special, but he's a little. Bud Scribers is not a rat, so I don't mind. He just is what he is. But Bud Scribers, you're on my channel, you idiot. I love you to death, but at the same time, because I see you're like, what do you call it? He's like a lost puppy dog that like chews up all your shit, and you want to throw him off the balcony, but you know he's just not that smart. That's Bud Scribers. Trinity clearly is one of those. I gotta win. Oh, I'm Elite Division player, dude. See what I'm saying? Go start a channel, Trini. People will love to watch you take 30-yard shots. I'm literally watching the game as we speak. You think I'm coming at you for no reason? I could do to you the exact same thing I did to Dagger and just put you in the dirt, but you don't need. You're not anybody worth it. You went for the fucking glitch through ball in the air. I'm watching it right now. You know how I know? You had a wide open angle to play it, and you didn't. You went for the through ball in the air. So you're gonna say the same thing to me last time, like, oh, I just made a bad decision. Bullshit. You played that lob through ball that my Van de Ven got to because you thought my defense was going to lock up. I'm watching it right now. Retro and Trini, go watch your own shit. That's what I'm saying. Nobody's making you watch it. Every comment you can read every comment. Forget my channel. You could say, well, everyone agrees with you on your channel, which isn't true. Go to UFL's website. Go to Reddit. Go anywhere, and you idiots can read what we're saying or what I'm saying. That's how it's obvious you're trolls. I never played one lob through ball. I don't do it for that reason. I play them on the ground. I played it on the ground and beat your defender with a good run. I didn't play one lob through ball. Not one. Retro, with all due respect, I don't give a shit if you like me or not. I just speak the truth, so I would like that too. But I'm trying to tell you something here. I'm speaking facts. So whether you want to hear it or not, bro, if by now you don't know how I am, then I don't know what to tell you, dude. I'm speaking facts. You're losing it. I've been the same way, you idiot. I haven't changed. Okay, so Bud Scribers, Retro. No. I like this. So I agree, Cash, but here's the thing. Which I've been back and forth with Cash too. Here's the thing. I'm speaking facts. So let's go back through this. Do you disagree that a 8-yard shot is missing all the time in UFO when a 30-yard shot goes in? Do you disagree that that is nonsense? Let's hear it. Yes, because do you realize in eFootball they have the same movement except for you literally push your right stick back, the player lets it go through his legs and turns and receives it. It's the animation that's broken. How are you not understanding that? They had the same problem when they released it, and all they did was fix the animation. Whenever the player floats, that could be the player turning and receiving the ball again. It's the exact same thing. Exactly. No, Bud Scribers, you're exactly right. But that's why I don't do it, because I'm not in the same boat as you. If I do it one fucking time, because there, I'll give you an example. When I was beating the shit out of Dagger all those times, which I put those videos up recently for a purpose, because for some reason I guess he didn't think I had it all on video. But I have every game against him on video. He's trying to say, "Oh, he beat me a few times. I beat him. We're about equal, bro." I've beat him about literally 100 times, so I started putting him up. I'm gonna keep doing it. I literally have 100 wins against him because people are trolls. They lie. So when I'm speaking facts, I'm not gonna fucking hold back. Here's the fact. Here's a fact. So if I'm not going to play, and then in response to one of his games, he put one of mine up when I did a corner glitch on him. After he did two against me, that was the only one I did, and then I scored two legit goals. But I put the whole game up. So my point is I'm not even going to give anybody the satisfaction of clipping me doing a lob through ball where their defense accidentally goes. But if you don't remember what I exactly said, I said that's the problem. You don't know if they're doing it or not. But guess what? I can go back and look at the game, and I played this enough to know when a player has a perfectly good through ball and they refuse to play that open pass and go for right at the angle that locks the defense up. Come on, dude. I'm not stupid. You want me to be that dumb? You expect me to think that I'm that dumb? I'll literally put the shit up and break it down. I've done it 100 times. Because it's not an exploit. Watch what they're going to do, dude. I actually know something about this too. They are going to make that. It's going to turn into the same exact thing. It's going to turn into a turn. And then they're also adding defender tussles in. But the problem is, guess what they're not adding in? Not adding in adequate jockeys. They're making it more like, okay, so I'll give you an example. The through balls at an angle, that is an animation. All right? That is, they didn't fix through balls. Notice that your passes automatically go to the player. That's because of pass lock. Their pass lock is what's preventing actual through balls to work. So when you have a player running straight on, even if you could play a perfect through ball like you do in the other football games, the reason why it doesn't work is because they have pass lock. So what they're doing now is they're adding in animations where they can't fix things. I'll give you an example. Defenders are going to start tussling with attackers. Attackers are going to start having turns. The problem is it's animation based. Why is that a problem? Because you're not in control. That's where you can create glitches. So say there's a terrible like animation where the defender is supposed to tussle your attacker or whatever, and then you do a turn. It's going to be all predetermined. Yeah, so Bud Scribers Retro and where is the dude? Whatever his name is, Trini. Here's the thing: 8-yard shots. So first of all, Bud Scribers, with all due respect, I know you like this game, and I know why. Because you've talked about your level. I get it. Players at your level, of course you're going to like it. You're not a football guy. You're more of a general gamer. That's fine. But you're talking to people who are... I'm a football player. Like, I want to play football. I want to provide this to help people get better. If I, like, for instance, if I sat down and watched your gameplay and was, like, talking to you about formations, positions, tactics, and shit, bro, you'd be lost. You're sitting here asking how to move your goalie. I watched 3 people explain it to you, and you're still asking. So with all due respect, like, I see some of the questions you ask, but you're not... If I don't... I'm not going to sit here and get in a talk with fucking nurses or doctors about medicine or some shit. You get what I'm saying? Like, so I'm not going to respond to you necessarily. I don't mind helping you and stuff, but you're constantly in here talking nonsense. Why don't you guys find a different channel too? That's the funny thing. So the next part. I've explained why and the reason I'm going to you, Bud subscribers, is I've explained this to you in detail about the fake shot receive. I don't know how else to say it. Where the player floats, imagine in your fucking heads, instead of the player floating, which doesn't freeze up the defender, your defender can still turn and defend that. Imagine instead of him floating, imagine him flicking the ball with the outside of his foot and then turning with it and respond to it. I know, they're losers. Bro, can you imagine Can you imagine being that big of a loser that you're going to sit in somebody else's channel? The nothing I'm saying is wrong. That's the problem. They can't come up with it. But, I mean, look at this dude's name. Go back and look at some of the comments. This motherfucker will be like, hey, man, whenever I press square, dude, the pass is going in the air. How come I can't press square and pass it on the ground? I don't really want to press X and pass it on the ground. Swear to God. It sounds exaggerated. But I would be fine with that normally. But here's the issue. The motherfucker constantly gets in here, watches this. Bud, you're in my channel like religiously and in my shit. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Go watch you would like Dagger. There you go. I recommended you to someone. That'll be perfect for you. And you can't ever come back with any adequate responses. I'm telling you. Which one do you want to talk about? The fact that an 8-yard shot misses? I'm literally watching the game, this whole game back as we speak with this Trini guy. Watch him try to do a lob through ball glitch because he stopped on a clear break and tried to play a fucking glitch ball, which I didn't notice at the time. It's hard to notice it, but when you go back, you can see. Then he does the same thing. He did the same thing last game too. He takes 30-yard shots because he can't beat the defenders. I'm watching him constantly do this terrible attack. If anybody else understands this, you guys know how hard it is to defend. He has a team full of greens like I do. Defended every single one of his attacks. And he takes a 30-yard shot. So it's fine, but you went for 2 different glitches, and you weren't good enough to pull them off. That's the only problem. So moving on to the fake shot receive, I've explained it 100 times. If you guys don't get it, then again, why would you be on my channel watching? See, that's how you know Retro's a troll moron. Okay? Does anybody else think that goalies aren't broken in this game? Retro, are you saying goalies aren't broken in this game? Let's simplify this for you fucking morons. Retro, you are the type of idiot, like you're the reason why strikers in them feel like they can rip off the player base. You're sitting here, you would be the player that says that and tries to rationalize the broken keepers with a fucking game from today when a keeper made two saves that are highly unlikely. If that even happened, by the way, but let's just say it did. Are you going to sit here and say that the goalkeepers are not broken? Are you going to sit here and say that it's not a joke that 30-yard shots from one player, Ronaldo, go in more than anybody else's shots from way better areas? Are you going to say that? Let's hear it. Does anybody else agree, disagree? I mean, I'd love to hear it. Please tell me, because that's really what we're getting at. But idiots like you, idiots, right, like you, don't understand it. So you're using one game to talk about 2 shots to try to rationalize what? You trying to argue with me when I'm basically saying goalies in this game are fucked, and it fucks the whole game. The only thing that didn't get nerfed for goalies was 30-yard Ronaldo shots. And that's all you see in this game from the Rat players now. Lob through balls or 30-yard shots, in which this Trini fuck tried to do both. Because anytime he tried to dribble, what happened? Every time. Are you gonna argue that one? I'm waiting for it, Retro. If you can give me a honest answer, you're gonna try to tell me that goalkeepers aren't broken in this game. So 2 complete breakaways that miss, and by the way, that's a microcosm because it's every game, and everybody on here watching knows it. Besides, apparently, you 3 idiots. So, again, I'm waiting for a comeback, please. Anybody. So then Bud Scribers, no offense, but he's like the little kid that's like, quit fighting with my mommy. You suck. You suck bad. So I'm not even going to really talk to him. So the very last thing I'll leave it on, guys, is the fake shot receive. Is it a big joke? Yes. That a fucking player's still floating this whole time? 100%. I've been saying they need to get it out of here since the beginning. But it's the most fluid movement in the game. So what can they do? Exactly what the other 2 football games did. Instead of the player floating, like I've said 100 times, imagine whenever the fucking striker receives it, he could either touch with the outside of his foot to go outside. If you're doing it to the right, to the inside, he could take a touch with the inside of his foot. and then keep going. Or he could do what they do in eFootball when you press the right analog stick away. They're OP from... Alright, hold on. So let's see this. So all this shit just came in. Peasants heyday wasn't perfect until they fixed... Okay, so here it is. So my shit froze. So let's see this. Not bored. Okay. Serious, name me one football game in history that was... It's not Bro, there's no way you're saying that. Keepers in FIFA are crap. My 79 keeper saying it. I code. Okay, there are definitely ways to bug out the goalies in their current state for an easy goal. Regular shots are saved often. Look at Bud's cry, bro. He's got to be 8. Retro. Isn't it a great game? So he came. There was one post where there's like 30 bad comments. Bro, so Bud Scribers, here's my thing to you. Because you got to be like 8. I'll simplify it. Go scroll through UFL. Go scroll through any website talking about the game. Why do you think everybody is saying the same shit I am, bro? If I'm wrong, why isn't everybody... Is it just you, Retro, and fucking Trini living on an island? Are you just going to play each other the whole time? No, you're not. There's a reason why you're at this fucking channel right now, because no one else covers this dog shit game. That's the bottom line. But the difference is, instead of like running away from it, I literally am trying to put it out there to make it better. But you three are literally the vast minority. If you don't believe me, go scroll through the websites. Go to Discord. So, you're on my channel, moron. I'm going to say whatever the fuck I want to say. I'm just telling you, you're an idiot. And that's a fact. That's not an opinion. It's a fact. You sound like an idiot. Your comments are always idiotic. So, that's just a fact. I'm just being honest with you. And you're on my channel. So, that's the point. It's hilarious. So, appreciate the support. You know, where it could be. And I'm not pointing out where it could be better. All right, Retro J. But the bottom line is this. The goalkeepers in this game are broken because every time you go into a game, you could be outplaying a player. You could get 7 breakaways. 7! And shoot them just like any striker would in a game. There's no green time shots, so you put it right in the corner. You put power on it. That's a goal 95% of the time. A striker like Ronaldo, Chiesa, whoever. Even Chiesa is not like 99 shooting, but he's got the boost. All green skin boost. That's a goal 99. In UFL, it's a goal 40% of the time. You take Ronaldo and hit a 30-yard shot, that is a goal like 95% of the time in this game. That is broken. I don't give a fuck. Dude, that's like saying I buy Coca-Cola for the drink, not the company. Fuck you. You're still supporting me, so keep going. I don't care. But I'm not gonna sit here and act like you're I mean, you're not. You're an idiot. Bottom line. I'm just telling you. And you get in here and you don't help the game at all. If you don't know what you're talking about when you grow up, take this as a lesson. If you don't know what you're talking about, shut up, because you sound like an idiot. But you're hiding behind some stupid ass weed name. And that's why you feel comfortable being a moron. So, anyway, go ahead. I'm just going to act like you don't exist. Like I've been doing, which apparently offended you. But I can't answer idiocy all the time. Retro, I'm not saying you are being an idiot necessarily. I think you're... How can I say this? Let me put it this way. There's no way you're going to sit here and tell me the shit you're arguing. You used a fucking game from today to argue something that you have to know is a fact. The goalkeepers in UFL are fucked now. That's a fact. How many times does this happen? How many times does what happen? How many times is what? The goalkeepers saving breakaways? Every fucking game they save them. Doesn't matter. That's fine. I'd rather do that and play football than play a broken game. Again, go look at the entire UFL fucking thing. Nobody likes this. Why do you think you're waiting 10, 15, 20 minutes? Because there's not enough U's around. There's a reason why if you started a channel today, I guarantee you, playing your rat ball, you, Trini, or Bud, combine each other's gameplay, go start a channel. Nobody continues to watch that shit, bro. Because here's what rats would do. They'd watch you play like shit for one game, see what you do, and then go play and do it themselves because they don't give a fuck about you or how you're playing because it's not about football. For you losers, it's about getting a win. You don't care how terrible the football is. So that's the point right there. You just proved my point of what kind of player you are. That's all I needed to know. You dominate and lose. That's the whole point. Is that you are the same type that FC has that ruined their entire thing. It's why it's voted every year the most toxic community because of idiots like you and the Trini whatever. But Bud Scribers, there's players like him too that are just so they're not the smartest tool in the shed, so they just hop on board because they're just having fun smoking weed. Good for them. But for players like you, I can tell by your comments that you're at least competent. And Trini, I can tell by how he's speaking, he's at least competent. For competent people to go, I just want to win. I don't care, bro. Who cares about football? Let's go ahead and do exploits, dude. Who cares? In real life, the goalies save some of those. In real life, they score 30-yard shots once every 10 games. So why not do it 95% of the time? Players like you, okay, so now we know this dude is a fucking joke. If that was the case, bro, this game would be fine. That is not the case. 1 in every 5 games is complete bullshit. A total cap, without a doubt. You know how I know that? Because there's not many players playing. It's all rats. So then what you're telling us? No, because I have players all over the world that watch this game, or that play this game that are on the channel. 1 in 5 games. Anybody else that's on here want to chime in on that? You guys call cap or not? 1 in 5 games is total bullshit. So every other player that's up and down everywhere you can talk about UFL is wrong. That's the biggest bunch of shit everywhere. Okay, well that's fine. Okay, there you go. That was Bud who said that. So Bud Scribers was right about that. Exactly. It's the biggest cap I've ever heard, bro. Everyone says it in retro. That's why you make yourself sound sus, is because the shit you say, bro. It's a fact that the goalies are screwed, and you go, well, a goalkeeper saved 2 8-yard shots today. Bro, it happens every single game. So, here's the point. What I was getting at earlier is that how I can fucking help the game, I'm not going to waste my time playing a bullshit game, but I can still help you guys with tactics and that. And if anybody can tolerate this, then you guys can play it. But anything you put your time into is valuable, right? For the last 3 eras of people, gaming replaced golf, bowling, all these things. So some people put a lot of time, including myself, all the way back to 2022, after my playing career, once coaching started dying down too, because my kids got older, I started fucking playing games where I'm putting a lot of time into them. Anything you put a lot of time into, you should care about, because it's your time. No, it's not a region thing. It's not a region thing. Holy fuck. Well, that's crazy. So this goes to show you how ratty people are everywhere. My daughter played in the final, and the team they played cheated, dude. They're fucking 10 years old. I'm finding the story out as we speak. God, there's people out here that are just losers, bro. Losers. Face rats and glitch abuser. It's not BS. It could be region. It's not, dude. Okay, well let's just say that. Then I've talked to people from Europe. I've talked to people from fucking everywhere. Asia, Africa, wherever the fuck I've talked to people. Australia, everywhere. South America, the number 1 player in the world when I was number 10 in the world. The number one player came on. I guarantee there's people on here. Or you could actually go look. It was my first stream ever. Go look yourself. He proved it to us. He showed us. I didn't believe him. He's a South American player. He came on. He's like, dude, I used your tactics. I went from number 3 in the world to number 1 in the world. He quit the fucking game because of all this bullshit. And this is months ago. And now he may be back. He's obviously a great fucking player. Okay? But the bottom line is it's full of rats. That's the bottom line. And then it's full of exploits. So if you're going to put your time into that, that's up to you. But me, I'm not going to put my time, but I'm still going to say it because me just saying the game's good like Bud Scribers wants me to. See, Bud Scribers, if that was the case, why is everybody saying what I'm saying then? If everyone was like you, then of course it'd be fine. And I urge you to keep enjoying it. But you're in the wrong place, dude, because people care about what they put time into. And therefore, they're pissed off because everyone wants to enjoy it and they had a good product at the beginning. So people put their money in. Whenever you put your money in, like whether it's skins or something else, guess what? Like it or not, you get a say in it. Just like we pay taxes, you hear people either love Trump or hate Trump, but guess what? They get to say whatever the fuck they want, whether it matters or not. But if enough people say shit, you better believe people start listening, whether it's politics, it's football games, it's anything. So if I listened to what you were saying, Bud Scribers, and just said, oh, well, bro, it's just a game. Oh, well, bro, let's just smoke some weed and play some exploits, man. Who cares? Well, then fucking nothing would get changed. The only chance it has, just like with FC's patches, if people start speaking up. All the content creators that, tiptoe around this, that was the biggest problem with FC for fucking years until finally enough people started speaking up, and then what happened? Boom, they released the biggest patch ever and changed a game 180 from the worst to one of the best. And the only thing ruining it is rats, bottom line. So that's my whole point. Early access, nothing better than scoring bangers. Yeah, but the bottom line is you could play open. You could score all different ways. There was skill in defending, and no, it wasn't a perfect game, which I've said a million times. But it wasn't just 30-yard goals. It was any type of goals. You could score crosses. You could score whatever. Then the defense, literally, if a defender ran up to an AI defender, the defender would literally watch them run by. Was that realistic? No. But what it meant was you had to switch to that defender. If you go watch my first defending masterclass, I literally showed what the problem was. Everyone was trying to use the AI to defend. No, you got to switch to that defender. You have to constantly be switching your defenders. It was a skill. That's why people played it. Whether it was Nick runs the foot market, Zelonius, all these players, by the way, notice that all of them quit the game. Why do you think they quit? Instead of doing what I'm doing right now, they just left the fucking game. They just left. So you got me, you got a guy who doesn't play the game. He just puts shit out like how to get CP fast, how to get the most packs, how to get the better player. Like, you have that, and then you got a motherfucker that has nothing else, that wants to do this for a living. And so, I mean, this dude, I see all the updates. I see the different shit. It's all nonsense. Go watch a tactics video from Dagger and tell me that he's not just looking for clicks and shit like that. All right, guys, so if you want to win the game, you need to score more goals than your opponent. So that is the key. In order to score goals, you see those 4 white posts? You must shoot the ball into it and hit the net. Now, if you do that, okay, I'm not holding you. You will be a winner. Dude, give me a break. I'm literally just going to speak the truth of the game, whether people like it or not. So, yeah, exactly. Did you see? Exactly. Exactly. Guys, how do these guys not see that they're proving my points? Did you see what Bud Scribers just said? Bud, you don't even know that you just proved my point. Exactly. And look what Bud Scribers is saying. As he's on my channel, how does this dude not realize how big of a loser he is? That's the point. That is the problem, Bud Scribers, that he got a scripted interview. Exactly. That's the bottom line. That is the bottom line. They had a scripted interview. Exactly. So, Bud Scribers, you're saying, oh, well, he got an interview. That's the problem. You don't want your fucking content creators that are doing interviews, scripted interviews with a fucking CEO, because guess what? They aren't biased. You're not getting the real truth about the game. You're getting some bullshit. You're getting played, but you're too dumb to realize it. You literally look at it as a good thing. How do you not realize? You guys see why I was saying this about him earlier? Now you guys see. Just from now on, we'll just ignore what he says. There's no point in talking to him. This motherfucker probably don't know what 3+2 is. So, but you got an interview with strikers, man. That's the whole point. That's the problem. You don't want motherfuckers like that because they're not going to tell you the truth because they want their free packs. They want to try to get you guys to pay money, and then guess what? They probably get a cut underneath of it. It's all a bunch of bullshit. That's what I'm trying to say. And then if I don't do this and this stuff doesn't get spread, then there's no chance. Even if I do this, and how small of a channel I am, there is a chance that it still won't get out. But I'm not going to be a bullshitter. There's no fucking way. There's no way I'm going to be like Retro and tell you guys, well, the Liverpool goalie saved these 2 shots and show you guys on a video or some shit. Like, look, that was very similar. So that Trini guy was very good. He gets 130-yard shot and then goes for another glitch that doesn't work. And he was awesome. No, kiss my ass. If I watched back the game and saw it, which last time I didn't have full proof, I was like, dude, my bad. Yeah, that's all good. There's just so many rats out here. But the problem is you have players like Retro J. Yeah, but you dominate and lose, dude. I'm going to use an exploit and win. You dominate and lose. I'm getting my win so I can get my 50,000 CP and spend it on nothing because I got all 91 players. Fuck that, dude. A vast majority of football gamers, believe it or not, Retro J, Bud Scribers, and Trini, actually want to play football. You guys are the minority. You 3 are the minority. They want free packs for a game they don't play. They want free packs for a game they don't play. I don't know what he's talking about. But anyway, just draw a game shooting 10-9 was 3. I know, it happens every time. That's what I'm saying. So, that's my whole point. That's my whole point. It's everywhere. They want all the content. Yeah, because the free packs means they get to open them and make a video. Go look. And then guess what happened? It bit them because everybody said, dude, you took those scam packs for skins and made the video. Everyone bitch at him. Then he goes, I'm going to take the video down, and didn't. Everyone was watching. You didn't take it down. You didn't take it down. He set himself up because, again, the vast majority doesn't want that. Everybody was on his ass. Go look at all the videos. Go look at all the hate. It's all there. And then he quit covering UFL. And then I think he came back. I can't remember. But that's the whole point. There's been a ton of those guys at FC, and they sink themselves every single time. Nick runs a foot market, almost sank himself for being the same way. And then he went all out on just speaking the truth. Guess what? No more, collaborations with EA Sports, but his fucking followers went through the roof. He's as big as ever. And that's when he started playing some eFootball every once in a while. That's when he started saying whatever he wanted. Nobody is going, because you guys don't ever get fucking trips to UFL or sign this or interviews with this guy or UFL water bottles or whatever the fuck. All you guys get is to play the game. So guess what you do? You look for guidance from people who maybe are at a higher level or have tactics that you guys don't have, or that you just want to follow the game to try to maybe learn some things because you're not going to be able to teach yourself. You only know what you know. If you have somebody that's bullshitting you, oh man, why don't you just calm down and just play, man? Who cares about all? Then how are you ever going to get a good game? If everyone did that, then all these fucking developers would just give us dog shit. Yeah. Well then there you go, Retro. Then you know exactly what I'm talking about. And it's the same thing, though, if you're saying things like, well, the Liverpool goalie saved twice. I don't give a shit, dude. The goalies are broken. They have a broken thing. Here's why. They don't know how to balance. The goalies were worthless. Now the goalies are too good. They actually have to pull the game or do something with it, but they can't do what they need to do in time because the game would probably have to be down too long, which would mean less money or whatever the fuck. They're giving a dog shit game to us and still taking our money. And I'm the only motherfucker talking about it right now. I watched this happen for 6 years until people started speaking up. That's why I can't stand those fake ass creators. But no offense, I can't stand players like you guys because you're worse than like the Plas King. If anybody remembers Plas King, you know what I'm talking about. If not, I'll explain. He is a rat in UFL. He admits it. He says, I was terrible at FC. I sucked at football games, but I fucking found a game where I can literally do all this shit, so I'm going to do it because that's what's fun to me. Now, is it a lame ass thing to do? Is he a loser? 100%. But he all but admits it. I literally, he's been on every one of my videos. It wouldn't surprise me if Retro or Bud Scribers, definitely not Bud Scribers, sorry, Retro or Tranny or whatever the fuck, Tranky, whatever his name is, Tranny and Retro were both, one of them could be Plas King because that's the shit he does. Yeah, I don't know, dude. The way you talk, bro, you literally said, oh, well, you dominate and lose. You just spoke the example of what a rat. Rats do what they do. Why? Dun, 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 to get wins. You are arguing with me about playing football instead of going for shit. So you said, well, you dominate and lose. So you go do what to win? What's the one way you can guarantee yourself a win in this game? Use exploits. You are a rat, Retro. It's just true. That me too. How do you not get what I'm saying? You said, well, I talked about playing proper football. You said, well, you dominate and lose. Okay, that's the point. That's what's going to happen if you're trying to make a game better. Because then I can show content, and then maybe Strikers gets a hold of it eventually. Maybe they don't. I know my one video, or two of them got shared. One by the guy I'm talking to you about that was the number one player in the world. Shared my video. And then another one got shared. I got sent it. The one of them that the number one player in the world sent got answered directly by whatever the community manager, whoever it was. And he had a bunch of lame excuses. But if that can happen and it can get out, and you can say, look, this is how the game can be played, and then enough people support that, Strikers is going to push harder to get rats out. Why do you think they put the thing in to report them? When you have exploits being used, when you show that a 30-yard shot is a way better way to score than anything else, you are literally shitting on their product. They do not want it. So that's one thing we have in common with the developers. But if people keep putting, like, not caring or doing what you guys are saying, just play, who cares about it all, then they're never going to fix anything. Right. Not my full. Not my fault. You can't follow chat. What are you talking about? I know. And Zach in Revolution, that's the same with 95%. I'm literally talking to the 5% of players that are still not. Let's just say they're not rats, but are still naive enough to say what these guys are saying. So that was in reference to. Look back at what it was in reference to. How often does it happen? You were just lucky 1 hour ago. I had a match with 25 ping, but it was more. Yeah, I know. I've had that too, big time. But yeah, so it just is what it is, dude. I mean, it's nonsense. But look at here. Here's the other thing. I mean, you want to talk about all of it that's crazy. This is what makes these type of players even worse. Like, I gotta get a win, dude. I gotta get a win. And trust me, it's the same with eFootball. This is why FC laughs at these motherfuckers. Look at my team. Look at a vast majority of the team. I literally sold and bought back players, by the way. So even my lower rated players like Chouameni, Camavinga, these guys are all getting up there. And I just bought them. There's players who have all 91s and have had them for some time. So there's literally nothing to grind for. What do you need CP for, bro? You got the best players in the game. You have the best skins in the game. What do you need skin packs for? There's no rewards to play for. So what else is there to do? Play good football. That's it. That's all that's left in UFL. And in eFootball, the same, except they're constantly dropping new legends. So it's a kind of a money grab situation. So that's, again, I'm not saying that. All I'm saying about that game is you can play great football. Trust me, they have some sleazy shit going too. So there's nothing else to do besides play good football. The problem is, in UFL, there's so many exploits that these rat losers can ruin it. And that's why I'm speaking up. You can't just let that shit go or it will never change. I can't remember. I did on stream go check. I think it was like $60 or something. I put about $400 in eFootball. eFootball is no doubt way worse as far as how much money. Honestly, the best free-to-play football game truly right now, if I showed you my team in FC, I've spent $0. Now, tournaments got me a ton of FC points, though, so I will say that. There's not a lot of players that play in tournaments and get FC points. So, for you guys, it may be harder to get the team that I have, but I spent $0 actual dollars in FC. But I have the Prime Hullet at the time, since I'm not playing anymore. Butcho was Prime at the time that I got him. The Maradona, obviously, they gave me, but I had enough coins to get him to get his 92 version. Rodrigo 94 I got from Rank 2 and Champs. Ferlin Minis top card. Evo. Zambrotta. Who else do I have? Oh, Capita, center back. So, and then Matuidi at CDM and Trent Alexander-Arnold at CDM. That's a free team over there. Look at this team. Think about the names I just said. So you look at the game right now, and you look at these players. So they don't have any of the firepower as far as players go that eFootball has or FC, and they have exploits. That's just the bottom line. So obviously, but let's think about this. There's 12 people still on here. There's been 12 to 15 all the time. If I was wrong or bullshitting, no one would be on this motherfucker right now. No one would be on this motherfucker. Retro J, when I'm going off on you, when I'm going off on that tranny, not the actual tranny, maybe he is, I don't know, but tranny, the whatever guy. People aren't going to just sit here and listen or follow some bullshit. It's fucking facts. You guys are in the minority, and somehow you guys are still in here. And if it's just because I'm the only fucking YouTuber that covers it, that should give you a fucking clue too. And if it's just because you follow my other stuff and I help you guys out with the other stuff, well then it's kind of dumb to think, oh, well he's right about this other shit, but he's wrong about this. So whether it's like Buttscriber said, I'm here for UFL, bro. Well, think to yourself, why the fuck I'm the only one covering this game? If it was a good game, everyone would be all over it. I am bad. This is a battle worth picking, bro, because you guys have spoken nonsense, nothing but nonsense. I mean, bottom line, the goalies are broken. My whole argument was this is the problem with the game. My first point was, who knows if this really is a rat or not, but that's how this game adds the toxicity because you don't know. And so you can't go into a game, like remember my previous approach was like, if they rat against me, I'll rat against them. You're not going to fucking know till it's too late. I proved that time and time again. I gave a player the benefit of the doubt, played fully upright, like never did anything wrong. I get 5 corners, try to score him legit. He gets one in the 88th minute. It was his like second shot the whole game. Gets a corner, does a corner glitch, and wins the game. You either have to go in with a toxic mentality and do exploits, or you have to just literally not give a shit at all. But why put time into something like that? Why put time into something that's pointless? That isn't about, okay, I'm going to work on this and get better, and then see how I do and play the game that I love. Play football. You can't do that in this game. It's just a fact. Yeah, but that's either way. It doesn't change anything. I don't care about me. Like, even if every player blocks everyone, that doesn't... You know that they're rats. Yeah, you could do that. But that doesn't fix the game. I could care less. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, when you said earlier, you dominate but lose. I don't give a fuck. because otherwise I would do what I did the what was it, the L1 triangle, when I said, oh well, this is just in the game, I'm competing. No, that was like patch number fucking 2. Now we're at patch like 7. It's the same thing. So I'm just telling you all this to say this is why I don't play this game. This is why I'm not finishing this. It's why I'm going to go play eFootball. I'll provide all the help, but I hate to tell you guys, the only way to actually enjoy this game is either A, have a mindset like Retro and Bud Scribers, B, have a mindset like Trini where you rat it up but just say you're not a rat, or C, just fully embrace that this game is all about ratting and glitching and just do those. You just have to choose, because if you truly just want to play football, unfortunately, it's not going how often. Oh, like every single game, bro. I mean, it's all dude, I don't even play divisions. I'm not in Premier. Since the new season, I've played this game. Here, let's go look. This is where I'm at. So I went through this season 2 to this. This is after what, the past couple days, whenever it started lagging like a motherfucker. But yeah, that's all my games. Look, this is all my games. So that's how many? Like 1, 2. I literally don't play this dog shit. No, it's a new season. Yeah, it's still season. This is, look at, here's all my games. Oh shit, you can read it at the top. 12, 6, and 6. I do not play this game, bro. I'm not bullshitting. It's not like I get offline and play. I literally don't. Every single game that I've played has been online, and yes, I've dominated probably 95% of them. And you can go watch for yourself. From new gameplay patch. You mean from post goalies? Post goalies started right here. It was like one. Oh wait, it was. I was undefeated for a while. Post goalie started here because I was undefeated. This to this was all together. Like, I believe. No, this was the first. It was down to here. It was this. This is the new goalies because I went undefeated since having the goalies be fit or whatever it's called. So then this one was my first game of the night against Dagger. And I go, dude, this is why I hate playing players from Jamaica. Look how fucking, when no players play, because look how laggy it is. But it wasn't. It was not just that game. And so I said, I apologize for that, even though he's a piece of shit. But I apologize for that, and I said it's laggy every game. This was my record after that. All lag bullshit. All these dominated. Like, pretty much everyone. You can go watch every single game on this season has been on stream. On purpose. Because I haven't done any exploit. Every game is about exploits. This lag shit added to it. I literally said, I was like, now it's done for. Because the one thing that UFL had going for it, at least for me, you guys tell me if it was for you or not, but I never had to deal with lag, ever. So, that's all I'm trying to say, man. You can't have the attitude of, well, just let it go, or, oh, well, you can't rationalize it, you can't do anything. You either have to choose to do exploits or go play an actual football game. That's the only two options, right? You either join in, you do the exploits yourself, or you go play a new football game. For me, I'm going to play a new football game. But there is no middle ground. There is no, well, I'm like an eFootball. Why I chose that? One, I put some money in, I consider it an investment to get these top players. They play just like their real life counterparts. They don't butcher their legends like in FC. Now, is it a lot of fucking money? Do I think their system's bullshit that they do it like that? Fuck yeah. The game lacks a ton of depth just like UFL. But you can play real football over there. So my goal is keep getting better, play real football, and try to beat out the meta rats that are just triangle, 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 and reducing all these legend players to this bullshit way that they never played. UFL, you can't do that. That's my whole point. You cannot play UFL and play good football and compete. That's my issue. If you could, I'd be showing you guys, and then we could go out and play some good football. It didn't matter if we played Rats because we could beat them. Now, does it work from time to time? Fuck yeah, right? But not often enough. More often than not, you're going to get a player that hits a 30-yard shot or two, no matter, and you might get 5 breakaways. You're going to get a player that scores 2 corner flicks and you miss, 3 breakaways. You're going to get a player that does 3 lob through ball in a row and scores 3 goals and you're just dominating him, right? But he has 8 players packed in front of the net. Bottom line is you can't just play skill and keep going. So, yeah, I'm headed over to eFootball. Not saying, again, if you want me to be the guinea pig, I'll keep playing that. I'm not completely sold. The game lacks a ton of depth. People spend a ton of money on these legends, so it's almost like they don't give a shit. The only thing I will say over there, way better football, way better mechanics, way better availability to make content around, let's say, defending, attacking, all the stuff that you'd want as a football gaming fan. You want to learn the best passing sequences, how to get players, out in the open better, how to isolate your best attackers one-on-one. All the shit that you do in real life football, you can do over there, especially tactic-wise. That's why I love it. None of that shit exists in UFL. A tactics video over here is so easy to do because it's so fucked. They haven't added any intricacies. The most intricate you got with UFL was at the very beginning of the game because of the manual defense and the ability to play any setup. At the beginning, does anybody remember how good the 3-back was even good? You could play a 3-4-3, and if you were good at it, you could be successful. You could play a 5-back. You could play any setup you wanted, and if you did it well, pass, move, learn how to manually defend well, you could be good in UFL. That was awesome. Since then, they went away from it. If somehow we can get UFL to go back to how it was towards the beginning, we'd all be set. We could play football again. So, end this super long rant, but it's just the fucking truth. It's the only thing to play for, really, higher rank. eFootball is about the division grind. Everyone wants to get... Yeah, so that's what I'm getting ready to do right now. So I will see anybody that wants to watch eFootball over there. If not, no big deal. Yeah. I guess with Retro J, the biggest thing I wish I didn't do with you is probably call you an idiot. I do not think you're an idiot. I do not think you're an idiot. I think you said some idiotic things, but I do think you're being naive as fuck when you're saying stuff like the Liverpool goalie saving 2 8-yard shots and blah, blah. There's no way in hell you can't truly see that the goalkeepers are broken. There's no way in hell you can't truly see the issues with this game. And so that's the whole thing. But the Trini, go back and watch that game. You can rewind it on stream, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about with why I went at him. So, other than that, I strongly suggest, like Bud Scribers, bro, go find a new channel, dude. Please. You don't have to. I mean, your support is welcome here. But I promise you I'm not your cup of tea, bro. I'm not your cup of tea. I'm just telling you that right now. I'm not doing this for clicks, views, or nothing. I'm doing this to try to possibly get this shit out there to make these games better. So when we put our time into playing a football game, we can actually enjoy a good football game instead of just sending them money for fucking green skins to then go get exploited all game. Or even if you didn't spend on green skins, if you just fucking grind your ass off at this game and just get nothing out of it. Hopefully they can eventually fix this shit and listen up to the players. Because right now, there's not much going around out here besides on their social media and all that. And they easily ignore that shit. I've seen it. Remember how... do you guys remember how chatty they were at the beginning with all the fans? All the players of this game? They were constantly going back and forth. Everything they replied to. Now, they're ghosts. Nothing. Because they can't fucking appease us. They cannot fix the game. So, either A, they truly thought they could fix all these things on these patches and shit, and they're like, oh, fuck, we can't fix all this. Or B, they've been grabbing the whole time from us. Because notice what didn't stop. The fucking monies didn't stop. They keep charging us for these packs. The packs haven't gone way down in price, even when the skins were jacked up. The stupid money grabbing with the, oh, go buy this stadium for this stupid challenge for like 5,000 CP. All the money grabbing shit is still there. Oh, guys, go buy this many star points. Go buy this. Go buy. They didn't stop that, but guess what? They did stop talking to us, and they did stop trying to fix these exploits, because most of them have been there for a fucking while now, and nothing's happened. So that's all I got to say about that. Headed to eFootball. Thank you very much for your time. Peace out.